Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you like these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you like this watch, you can see it and buy it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing one of the most warmly received and desirable new models of 2018, and it truly warms my heart to be able to say that one of the most desirable new models is also one of the most accessible. And that's the case with this Omega Seamaster Railmaster Denim Blue. Based on last year's Return of the Railmaster, the Seamaster Railmaster, and that's distinct from the Trilogy model from last year. This is a 40mm satin-finished stainless steel all-around sports watch that is also an intriguing unisex option because of its narrow 46.7mm lug-to-lug dimension. So a 40mm watch, but it wears more like a 36 because of the pivoted end links of the bracelet that allow it to pull straight down around the tight curve of a small wrist. The watch is reasonably slim. It's neither thick nor thin at 12.9mm, but it does have a stepped case flank and a sloped bezel, so you'll find it slides underneath even dress cuffs. The watch sits solidly on the wrist. There's a double deployant clasp and a 3-link bracelet that fortunately owes relatively little to the design overdog of the segment. It really doesn't look like the Rolex Oyster bracelet. It's its own thing, and that largely due to the dramatically squared off profile that gives it strength and a sharp character line that runs parallel along each individual link. You will note that all of the removable links are fixed by screws. There's plenty of gaps, and I do mean large gaps on the underside to avoid pinching skin, pulling hair, or trapping wrist heat. This is going to be one of the best venting bracelets you'll encounter. The clasp is double deployant, which I always like for smaller wrists. It's less likely to pinch you than a large single fold, and it uses twin trigger release. This is not a dive watch, so it doesn't have a dive extension, but the presence of the twin triggers does ensure that it's not going to pop open involuntarily. Jumping back to the case, you can see it's the familiar beveled profile that we've grown to know and love in the Speedmasters and Seamasters over the years, but this being a more basic and stripped down look, you can see it's all of satin finish. There is no polish, so the look is very subdued, sophisticated, understated. One might even say slightly Teutonic. You will note that the crown, as per all 2017 and subsequent Aquaterras, it does have a little bit of Aquaterra in it, is not protected by shear guards, but you know what? If you manage to shear that crown off while it's on the wrist, you're going to have your wrist reattached to the body, so you'll have bigger concerns than the crown. As far as I'm concerned, I will dispense with the crown guard in return for the ease of access that comes with manipulating this newly reprofiled and unguarded conical crown. It's simply easier to use. The dial is what sets this watch apart. In fact, it's really what defines the watch. Denim. I don't need to explain. It's the color of blue jeans, but everything about the dial is consonant with the coloration, and the color itself is more complex than the cloying blue that's been over-applied throughout the industry lately. You can note that there are copper, pink, violet, even shades of green mixed into the striations, and the striations themselves are not even. It's not like it's just a bunch of parallel lines printed identically from side to side. There's a little bit of a texture to this one. Subdued coloration of the Railmaster script and the seconds hand, and I love the fact that the seconds hand is loomed outboard, vintage inspired. This is very Seamaster 300, or one might even say 1957 Railmaster inspired, quarter Arabics with a crosshair dial and oversized luminescent indices. There will be a loom shot. It will be spectacular. Traditional railroad track outboard for reading minutes and seconds. There's not a whole lot going on. It's simple and easy to read in any light, but the color, the texture, and the complexity makes this a wonderfully endearing dial. So much more interesting than the already superb versions that debuted for 2017. You have hacking seconds. You have 150-meter water resistance. You have a screw-down crown. You have an Omega Naiad caseback, which means the top-to-bottom alignment is always the same, so you never have to worry about taking the watch off after a service and finding the hippocampus seahorse is screwed on sideways. Antimagnetic, you better believe it, SI14 silicon hairspring. The hairspring, not just anti-magnetic, amagnetic, not to 15,000 Gauss, but to over 15,000 Gauss, or 1.5 plus Tesla. Very impressive. It's a COSC chronometer, but then it's also a METAS certified chronometer. METAS being the standard Omega dreamed up with the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology, including 6-position testing, anti-magnetic and water resistance testing, as well as power reserve and winding efficiency tests. It is a full battery of tests applied to the watch after it gets its COSC chronometer certificate. It's a full watch test. Of course, 25,200 vibration per hour beat rate, bidirectional automatic winding, 55-hour power reserve, solidly more than the automatic industry standard of 38 hours to 42 hours. So this is a deluxe system. It's also a very tough system, as it features both a free-sprung balance and a full balance bridge, the two yielding stability against shock, vibration, and concussion on the wrist. The full package, visually appealing, unisex appropriate, accessibly priced, handsome, and enduring by combining time-tested styling details with a few avant-garde touches born of modern manufacturing technology. Omega has created an all-timer. It will look just as good in the year 3018. See it and make it yours on the watch box. And we're back with the Omega Seamaster Railmaster Denim Blue by day, fluorescent blue by night. See it and make it yours on the watch box.